我2萬蚊俾你買線，你係買10條2000蚊嘅線，定1條2萬蚊嘅線？好難諗係咪？如果想知道究竟個答案係點咧，我哋而家就會做一個示範啦。咁啊，早排咧，我哋 FIFA3.com 同埋雅榮音響咧合作舉辦咗個活動啊，非常之過癮同埋多嘢睇啊！咁啊，除咗係請到 Tributaries Keras 嘅廠家同埋 Ferrum Audio 嘅廠家同大家講解佢哋嘅新產品同埋理念之外啊，現場咧仲玩咗好多 A/B 比，同大家試咗好多近排小弟覺得好靚聲，有可能係滄海遺珠嘅音樂。咁而家即刻就同大家送上當日嘅精華片段，睇下小弟揀嘅歌啱唔啱你心水，同埋呢套價錢唔算貴，兼且係玩緊2.1全有源嘅設計，呢套非一般嘅音響系統又啱唔啱你聽呢？即刻去片睇睇。歡迎嚟到炮台山雅榮音響。呢度基本上係有4個地方，分別咧就有啲唔同大細嘅空間，亦都有唔同價位嘅音響，可以俾大家慢慢咁樣選購嘅。咁雅榮音響咧喺香港嘅音響代理嚟講，出咗名，服務係非常之好噶啦。咁所以大家可以即係隨便滾搞下佢哋嘅。
咁今次我哋都準備咗啲好嘢，令到大家係好易入手嘅，即係唔會覺得好似聽完喂好遠嘅掂唔到嘅咁樣嘅。咁我都係再次多謝大家啦。咁希望一間你滿意呢一個系統嗰個聲音咯。
就係今日大家見到嘅系統咧，最大嘅特色咧就係佢嘅價錢就唔係好貴。咁同埋今日呢個系統咧都有少少同一般嘅音響器材嘅接駁設計上有啲唔同嘅，因為今日有一個全主動嘅2.1嘅播放嚟嘅。咁跟住呢一首歌就係《Sound of Silence》。咁但係呢一個版本咧，佢咧喺成首歌度係故意喺某啲位就加咗一個係10零赫茲嘅超低音落去。如果你唔係一個低音下潛力夠深、重播夠好嘅系統裏面咧，你係完全聽唔到呢個低音係播過嘅。咁都幾有趣嘅。當然首歌亦都好聽啦。咁我哋聽一聽呢首《Sound of Silence》。
Corporate name of my company is Gordon J. Gao Technologies. Under the company, we have 2 brands, Claris, a high-end brand, and Tributaries, which is our mainline brand. Tributaries began in 1991. About 2002, 2003, we started a relationship with Jay Victor, who was helping us with power conditioners. And he said, I have patents in high-end cable design. The Claris technology is based on Jay's patents. We license his patents, and we are exclusive use of those patents, and we manufacture to his specifications. And the patent basically says the signal that passes through a wire can be made very smooth and very neutral and quiet by using 3 different shapes, sizes and shapes of conductors. Round, heavy gauge conductors for bass response, flat conductors for mid-range response, and spiral ribbons for high frequency response. It took him 10 years to develop this cable. Because it sounded so good, I asked Jay to redesign the Tributaries line. Now it can't be the same cable, obviously, because Claris is a high-end, Tributaries is a mainline. But what he did is it had the same basic concept. That is how it goes from our Series 2, which are the least expensive Tributaries, Series 4, 6, and 8, and then Claris Aqua and Claris Crimson.
我2萬蚊俾你買線，你係買10條2000蚊嘅線，定1條2萬蚊嘅線？好難諗係咪？如果想知道究竟個答案係點咧，我哋而家就會做一個示範啦。咁而家係我哋插緊嘅就係 Crimson 嚟噶嘛，最貴嗰條啊嘛。係啦，咁我哋而家就會做一個示範。咁我哋跟住嘅時間就會交俾阿豪。
嗱，首先我就會示範一首人聲。而家插住咗嗰條咧就係 Keras 嘅 Crimson 嚟嘅。咁啊，俾大家試咗即係最靚嗰條先。咁轉頭咧就可能會插呢條非常美好嘅根基線。咁啊，相信大家都唔陌生啦。最後會試埋 Tributaries Series 6嘅電源線，因為呢條如果大家試到有反應咧，要入手係非常之即係容易嘅，幾千蚊3、4千蚊左右就入到手㗎。
為何只剩一彎月留在我的天空？為何只剩一彎月留在我的天空？為何只剩一彎月留在我的天空？
有冇分別先？最緊要有，我見到大部分都岌頭。咁啊，最貴嗰條其實係幾多錢㗎
？20,000零。
咁但係頭先嗰條就係3-4千蚊。
係。
咁最低嗰條咧就係零跟機㗎嘛，係咪？跟機㗎嘛。不如我俾大家講兩句啦，好唔好啊？
嗰個歌手好似翻生咗咁我聽，再聽翻貴嗰條真係好似即係新鮮咗條魚要新鮮啲咁。
如果俾我揀，我揀 Tributaries
中間嗰條。
係啊，因為我覺得佢聲太勁嗰隻。
同最跟機嗰隻就梗係分別好大啦。但係你話貴定係平嗰隻就要再用心啲聽下。
我都一樣，我都覺得跟機嗰條同第二條即係 Tribute 嗰條就個分別明顯啲。再貴嗰條係聽得出分別，但係要考慮咯，即係個價錢。
梗係唔會嘅。
係咯。
點解要用條咁雞嘅線咧？就係、第一，我哋想大家容易啲聽到知道分別；第二咧就係喺呢類型咁樣嘅活動，即係俾人 A/B 比嗰啲咧，我哋係唔會用其他牌子嘅線嘅。好，咁就跟住咧，我以下時間我哋又請另一位嘅廠商代表咧，同大家傾下偈咯。咁就係波蘭 Ferrum Audio 啦。
你好，我係 Julian Taylor and the Celtic Connect。
My name is Martin Hamedla, CEO and owner, and I established a company called HGM, which is working this business for 26 years. We are the owner of the brand Ferrum, which is well known among the audiophiles. One was that I wanted to play more with DSP, because usually DSP it's not intended for the high quality hi-fi. I believe you know this assumption is wrong. You can put good quality DSP in hi-fi, however it should be properly done. The other thing is that we know Kamil Oatley, aka Golden Sound, for quite a long time. Last year in Munich he came to us with an idea about making special edition of one of our products with DSP. I thought it's a good idea for us to start this type of activity. Besides, my engineering team already was working on something similar, so that was a good opportunity to start this project. DSP is about filtering, adding, multiplying all these things. But in this particular situation, not filters but functions. Because, for example, in case of special enhancement, it's kind of, it's transformation of the signal. It has nothing in common with filtering. That's the same hardware. During the life cycle of a product, there are several versions of the mainboard. It is due to the changes because, for example, some manufacturers stops making some secondary chip or secondary parts, so we have to replace this, so that's why the new versions of the mainboards appear. I know that there are some rumors about the versioning of our mainboards. It's not the case. All the versions do the same, all mainboard versions suitable for Golden Sound Edition software. And in fact, Golden Sound Edition is just a firmware, new firmware for all the Wandlers.
咁頭先咧就講緊呢個 Wagner 嘅解碼有個 Golden Sound Edition 啦。咁Golden Sound Edition 係個 firmware 嘅 update 嚟嘅。咁喺呢個新嘅版本裏面咧，會有3個唔同嘅 effect 俾大家玩嘅。咁第一個咧就係 impact， 第二個咧就係 tube 就係有膽味啦，第三個就係 spatial， 即係聽到嘅空間感強烈啲。
咁我哋準備咗2首歌嘅，嗱靜嘅人聲咧就是 tube mode， 咁一陣有首打鼓咧就試嗰個 impact plus 嗰個模式。
I can feel you anymore. I can't stand the rain. I can feel you anymore. I can't stand the rain.
打模擬開同閂，你中意開定係閂？
閂開咗有啲泛音會多啲，但係唔係非常之自然。
我中意開，多啲聲味多啲咯。
我覺得閂咗好啲，因為開咗之後，我感覺好似朦咗少少。
好，咁最後嗰幾位朋友咧，我就問 Impact 啦。
我覺得刪咗佢比較鬆容自然少少。
刪咗好啲，個心凝住嗰個係假嘢。
開咗之後咧，佢有少少隨心口嗰種感覺咧，就似你真係行近個kick drum 嗰啲 area。
近嗰陣時就有呢個。
係啦，你因為啲 kick drum 咪成17-8寸咁，你一揼落去，你基本上真係 feel 到個心口有少少震嘅。佢開咗 impact 之後咧，你係 feel 到個心口有少少震。
播咗好多唔同類型嘅音樂啦，咁好似一路都冇乜點播中文歌啦，咁我就想播翻一首可能大家都耳熟能詳嘅歌啊，咁我就揀咗張惠妹嘅《哭砂》。咁我
你最愛說你是一顆塵埃，風吹來的沙落在悲傷的雨裡。
好，或者我講一講今日嗰個接駁係點樣先啦。咁啊，串流部分方面有 Charlie Angel 嘅 M1T
黑色呢個細細個，
咁我哋就會用一個 I2 Square 嘅傳送咧，去到嗱今日嘅主角之一啦。Wanda 嘅 Golden Sun Edition， 咁佢除咗解碼之外咧，仲係一個 PM 嚟嘅。我都講一講供電啦。咁供電我哋都用咗 Firm 嘅 Hip Source 嘅，即係5至30V 任大家調校。呢個佢最大嘅賣點嚟嘅，將佢咧直接接駁到個 Down Audio 嘅 18S 超低音同埋 Core 59嘅3路有源喇叭。以往呢啲示範啦，咁好多時都會準備一啲天價嘅器材。咁其實我哋今日準備嘅器材咧，如果講係天價咧，我就覺得談唔上嘅。
10萬，
都係10鬆啲萬左右。咁大致上個接駁就係咁簡單。
近年大家好多人都中意用嘅試低音嘅叫做 Make Us Stronger。咁咧呢個係冇實體碟嘅，但係咧你可以去到大小音響展啊、音樂示範裏面，專門要試低音嘅話咧，無論係幾百萬嘅系統定係幾十萬嘅系統咧，佢都會攞呢啲卡嚟播嘅。裏面咧就有個谷友就講緊陳慧琳嘅舊碟《星夢情真》一隻碟，睇下係咪最尾嗰首歌有一 cut 係好靚聲嘅喎，係唱陳慧琳唱開始，不過係一個 remix， 其實係一個好似係 rehearsal 咁嘅版本啦。好啦，咁啊，今日咧個活動咧就嚟到呢度咧就圓滿結束啦。咁首先多謝咁多位嚟臨啦，咁亦都多謝雅永音響嘅安排啦，多謝 Figo 生我哋兄弟啦，仲有2位廠家好遠道咁樣嚟到香港同大家講解 ，thank you， 好啦，散得，
多謝晒，多謝晒。